Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/JustNoMil. In today's episode, MIL wants to be beneficiary on husband's life insurance policy. Kids will be seeing my mother for the first time since the incident. Nasty nanas just desserts. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. MIL wants to be beneficiary on husband's life insurance policy. Pretty much exactly what the title says. I can't tell if I'm being crazy or not. Sorry if this ends up being long. I feel like I'm about to lose my mind. I've never had any issues with MIL until I got pregnant. A little background is I'd been with my husband for 5 years. MIL has had a life insurance policy on husband from before we got together, but she wants us to take over payments on it, which is fair. Well, husband and I just had a baby girl, and since we're married I'd be his next of kin, so husband obviously wants to make me beneficiary and take over payments. MIL is not okay with this at all. She said since she has been making payments on it, it's only fair she gets any money that comes out of it. Husband told her the only way we would take over is if either me or the baby could be the beneficiary. She is not okay with baby being beneficiary either. The only compromise she had there was she could still be beneficiary and baby could have a trust in her name off the life insurance policy that baby could access at 18. She only wanted baby to use the money for college and nothing else, like a car or apartment. She made it clear I would have no access to this money. Now, she is saying she just wants to be able to bury her son if something happens. But my thing is I'm his next of kin. I'm responsible for burying him. That's what the life insurance money would be used for, and anything left over would go towards his daughter. She is also saying we could get a second life insurance policy through husband's job and make me the beneficiary through that one. Why would we pay for 2 policies though? It makes no sense. I've left it up to my husband since the policy is in his name and he is completely on the same page as me. To me, it's not about the money. I'm not looking to make money off of my husband's death. In the end, if God forbid something were to happen to my husband, I would take care of myself and my baby, but I just can't wrap my head around MIL thinking. It's like she doesn't trust me to bury my own husband? Or she doesn't care if her grandbaby is taken care of or not. I just really need to know if I'm being crazy or not. Editing to add, because I've seen this a lot, this is term life we're talking about, not whole life. We told her if she can't afford the payments to drop it because there is no way we would be taking over a policy where me and our daughter wouldn't get the benefit and we would get our own policy. She just won't drop it. This is when she tried to make the compromise on our daughter getting a trust out of it at 18 and me being put on the one at work. She just won't drop it. She tried to send an insurance agent to our house to talk to us about taking over payments. Also, to clarify, we have not made payments on the policy. She just keeps bringing up us taking over payments. Info: is your husband not at all concerned that his own mother seems convinced he is going to die soon enough for her to profit from his demise? I'm sorry, but as a mother, I just gotta say that's really weird and more than a bit alarming. This was my thoughts as well. No, you are not overreacting. Your feelings are valid. She's trying to gain money on something that isn't hers to make. You are the spouse and you are responsible for hubby's funeral. Normally, if you were in a financial bind and needed help, then that's when the family and friends get together to help pitch in. It's good you are letting him deal with her. It's such a bizarre situation. Good luck. Maybe you can take over payments, pay 1 month, and then cancel it? LOL. But you'll hopefully be dead by the time your son passes. Let her keep her policy if she wants to be a beneficiary of a policy on your husband. Buy your own. Anyone can take out a life insurance policy on anyone. If she wants it, she pays for it. Buy your own. My biodad had a life insurance policy. He also had a lot of belongings, like a van, a motorcycle, a boat. I was his next of kin. His only daughter. It was a large policy. 6 figures. I was supposed to get everything. There's a trust until she's 18. I got a single photograph, a broken cologne bottle, and $7,500. I hope that your husband lives to be a very old man. Trust no one where inheritances are concerned. You and your DH already know what you need to do with regards to your own insurance needs, so I am not going to say anything about that. With regards to MIL's disgusting behavior, if she makes these comments to you, then you have the right to shut her down, and in such a way she realizes that you are serious. MIL, your comments are both ridiculous and inappropriate. We will not be having any further financial discussions with you again ever. You have made it clear that you want us to contribute to your retirement fund, and we are not prepared to do so. The end. I don't think you are being crazy. If she wants to be a beneficiary, she needs to pay for and maintain the policy because it is her policy, and you and DH get one for the two of you, with the other being beneficiary. Exactly. She wants to be the beneficiary, then she can pay the premiums. Anything else would be madness, or as the Brits say, taking the piss. It doesn't matter who is paying for it, the policy is on his life and he can cancel it any time he wants. Essentially, he withdraws his consent to be insured for her benefit. I would cancel it and open a new policy. Take the time to figure out what you truly need from the policy, e.g., college fund, mortgage paid off, and build the policy on that. Do some research, because you may be able to find a better policy, and as long as husband is healthy, rates should be low. MIL doesn't even need to know how much or the company. How do I know? I already lived through this same battle, lol. Sorry to hear it, but I'm so glad I'm not the only one. My own parents were completely dumbfounded when I told them about it. Kids will be seeing my mother for the first time since the incident. My kids will be seeing my mother for the first time since the big blowout at my nephew's birthday party. They are 6 and 8 and for the most part have a general understanding of what happened. Grandma hurt mommy's feelings, so mommy doesn't speak to her anymore. My nephew's birthday party is coming up, and how do I go about telling them I don't want them to speak to her when we're there? Not even a hello. I know they miss her, but I don't want them even being cordial with her. I just wanted to be clear that I'm not trying to use my children to hurt her. That's the last thing I would ever do. But I don't want her to try and open up a door. Last time my daughter was on the phone with my little sister, I overheard her take the phone and say, "You know I love you and I wouldn't do anything to hurt you, it's your mom that's." And that's when I just hung up. I don't want to give her the opportunity to say or do anything. I've decided not to go. Do not put this on your young children. I read your earlier post, and you are justified in your NC. Especially since she threatened to take your children from you. However, asking your children to shun someone they love is cruel and confusing to them. If you do not want them to interact with your mom, do not go to the party. You're not going to enjoy it, your children are not going to enjoy it, and the tension will likely ruin the party for everyone else. Make arrangements to celebrate separately, at a time your mother won't be there. I was debating whether or not to go because my brother really wanted us to be there. Everyone was basically telling me to just ignore her. Don't go. Take your nephew to the movies or amusement park on a later date. This is the answer. Being a grandparent is a privilege, not a right. In my U.S. state, there is such a thing as grandparents' rights. Grandparents can sue for visitation in the case of a divorced family, a child born out of wedlock, and when one of the parents is deceased. Not going is your best decision. You are a good mom for protecting your family from this manipulative person. It's not fair to put this on your children to carry out your no contact if you take them to the party where your mother will be. It's confusing for them, and you know she will try and speak to them. They will try to obey you, and it's not a good situation to put your kids in. Either take your kids and the birthday gift to your nephew the day before the party, or plan to do something else. But for heaven's sake, don't put your kids through this by going to the party. You know your mom will try and talk to them, and she's going to cause a big scene and ruin the party. Yes, exactly. And your kids will be traumatized. You are trying to protect them from her manipulation, that's clear. Not going is the best choice because she will approach you. Happy Cake Day. Happy day. I agree, best not to go. I read your last post, she is a dangerous person. Never let your children around her. The fact that she threatened you and nearly shattered your life with false statements to the police should be enough to want to keep NC. I would even go as far as to say that you should keep your distance from your siblings, at least the ones urging you to forgive her and to let this all go. She could have gotten your kids taken away from you and landed you and your BF in jail. Keep your distance, keep yourself and your kids safe from this woman. Do not give her any chance to poison your children or to attack you in any way. This all the way. You should have zero contact with her at all. Not going is the best decision. She threatened you and your children. I wouldn't be in the same room with someone after that. Maybe you can see your nephew on another day, bring over a special treat and have special time. In any case, you have to start having this some people are tricky/bad/dangerous conversation with your kids, and make sure they know never to trust your mom. I'm going to say that you don't have to go. Don't let your children go because she will use them, whether to establish grandparents' rights or keep making accusations against their father. She has yet to own, not helping out, not paying towards food, utilities, or rent for the months she lived with you, nor has she apologized for what she did prior to and after the cops were called. She is hurting your children by stating it is your fault. No, it's not your fault. This is all on your mom, to the point I wouldn't let her talk with your children without supervision. If she brings flying monkeys, block them as this is between you and her. Not your children with her making you look like the bad guy. Do therapy as well, and because of how she is attempting to manipulate your children, counseling from them. Don't have your mom or siblings on any paperwork with your children's school so that they can take them out under false pretenses. Last, hugs, and some hot cocoa. Nasty Nana's Just Desserts. This weekend, I joined my DH on a visit to his mom. Nasty Nana referred to her aide by a disgusting Italian slur, bragged about her weight loss, she's bedbound and atrophying, not putting in time at the gym, and body shamed me. All within the first 5 minutes. She also demanded I make her family recipe cheesecake to share with her roommate next time I came. Don't hold your breath, Nasty, and her behavior reminded me of the first time I crossed Nasty and her sister and lived to tell the tale. NN is part of a large matriarchal Italian family. While the women fuss over the men, do all the housework, and pride themselves on the vacuum lines in their carpets, they also plot, scheme, and manipulate their partners into believing they wear the pants while doing whatever they want to. NN is the middle sister, her older sis is my favorite, *T crazy, completely raised in Italy, basically still a 13-year-old farm girl who screams about everything, gets her local liquor store to deliver since her kids try to dry her out, and has a full mustache. Her younger sister was born in Italy but raised completely in America, and I call her the most dangerous one. She's a sweet, traditional Italian housewife who would cut your throat with a smile and add your entrails to her marinara for protein. I wish I was joking. When DH and I were first dating, we were summoned to her house for a mandatory dinner. The date we were invited coincided with an event we held tickets for and we had to decline. This act of rudeness, on our part, led to a 5-year ban from dinner invites. It was glorious. Eventually, we were removed from the do not fly list and a reconciliation dinner was planned with a date that actually worked for our schedules. As always, we would bring NN with us as she doesn't drive but must always act as gatekeeper. Gatekeeper as in the invitation came from her, the RSVP was given to her, and the request I bring dessert, preferably their secret family recipe for cheesecake, issued by her. I had been entrusted with the recipe a few years back. Now DH's last name is hella long and does end with a vowel, but it is not Philadelphia. Which makes the secret family recipe confusing because it's the recipe printed on the Philadelphia's cream cheese package. Delicious, yes, a family heirloom, no. NN reminded me no less than 10 times that I was responsible for dessert and how insulted her sister would be if I forget. I didn't forget. I just didn't make the cheesecake because I work full-time, have kids, and also wanted peach cobbler. The only upside to NN's family devotion to all things Italian is that they have never set foot inside any of the other great bakeries in our area. So I bought a badass cobbler, fumbled it into a pie dish and went to pick NN up for supper. I pop into the house to help her get the antipasto, her assignment, to the car and notice a pie pan with foil on the counter. What is this, you ask? Why, it's the cheesecake she made since she knew I would forget. Now casual JustNoMil users may think this is no big deals. 2 desserts are better than 1. But in the land of death by 1,000 paper cuts, this is establishing dominance, this is passive aggression, this is belittling bullying behavior designed to make you feel less than and NN feel like the HBIC. I swallowed my rage, texted my husband, waiting in the car, what was about to happen and pretended all was good. We rolled up to her sister's house, helped her to the door, and before she could ring the doorbell told her we were leaving to have peach cobbler for dinner and she would have to find her own way home. NN was apoplectic. In her family, control is currency, and an inability to control your children is blasphemous. I reminded her that she knew I don't tolerate disrespect and this was a consequence of her actions, no more no less. I have never eaten dinner at her sister's table and don't imagine I ever will. Best punishment ever. That reminds me of the Thanksgiving with 5 kinds of potatoes in my family LMAO. It doesn't surprise me about the recipe. I've found over the years some of the so-called handed-down recipes were actually on the back of products, like tins and boxes back in the day. In fact, a lot of those were scanned, and you can usually find Google Pics complete with the recipes. Now I need to go read more NN stories. ETA, wow. OP, you deserve a medal. Dealing with all of that and your sobriety? This internet stranger is really proud of you. OP is not to be trifled with. Congratulations on your success. Gotta love when they don't realize their punishment is an actual reward. I know you can punish me like that forever NN. I always hear about the summons to dinner and smile to myself that it's not me being forced to perform. And goddess willing it never will be, just kidding, it definitely never will be, because there's not an ice cube's chance in hell I'd accept an invite from that whichever again. She even ignores me at family parties. Hurts so good, baby. Oof. Nanas can be wonderful or evil like yours. I had a wonderful nana, but we all knew not to mess with her. You're a brave soul and I'm cautiously clapping for you, all the while whispering a Hail Mary. Oh man, I just hate it when I get punished with exactly what I want. It's the worst. I just wanted to add, I understand you didn't mean it that way and most people don't know, but G***Psi is also a slur. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.